Good evening, League. Coming in to do week 3 wrap-up video / week 3 predictions. Yeah, good week of fantasy football. Better than week 2, that's for damn sure. So let's hop into the matchups. Make sure this video doesn't end up being 30 minutes long. All right, first matchup was Blood Disease versus Y'all Mind If I Praise God. That was Payne versus Mike. Payne coming in 1-1, Mike coming in 2-0. Mike coming off of 2 big weeks of fantasy football for him. Giant, most points he's put up since I've been in the league. But Payne did end up beating Mike, 108.8 to 69.4. Mike putting up close to the lowest points in the league this week. Not the lowest though. Payne getting a second win under his belt. You know, he's not used to winning early in the season. Big score for Payne was Drew Blees, 25.9, and then you had Shady McCoy with 23.6. So both had very good weeks. Mike, big score for you is Mike Evans, 19.2. Good keeper, I guess. He's finally paying off for you. There's a cat. And then starting this week, I'm going to do shitty players on your teams as well. So Payne, shitty player for you is Julio Jones, 1.6 points. I don't know why you started him. He's god-awful. He's a terrible wide receiver. Mike, Will Fuller, 3.1 points. I mean, Will Fuller, I'm glad that pick's paying off for you. Glad it's paying off for you, Mike. So, Mike, you felt the wrath of Philly Rivers again, letting you down, not putting up 30 like he did the last week. And now you're finally realizing how many points your running backs are going to put up now that Le'Veon's back and D'Angelo Williams is now a backup. Coming back down to earth like I predicted, Mike. Payne, if you didn't have a kicker, Redskins, Dustin Hopkins. If you didn't have him, you probably would have had a pretty mediocre week, but you did, and so you put up over 100. So congrats to you, bud. Welcome to the kicker club. So, Payne goes to 2-1, Mike drops to 2-1. Yeah, not much more to say on that matchup. Next up, Fupa Freaks versus Hot Dane's Gravy Train. That was Mick versus Kyle. Mick coming in 1-1, Kyle coming in 0-2. Mick did end up blowing Kyle away, 135.6 to 112.2. Good week for Kyle in points-wise. Mick, this is going to be pretty standard from you from now on, I'm going to assume, as long as your player's still healthy. I think you're on a fast track to winning this league. Big score for Mick was Vikings D and Dave Johnson, 25 points and 23 points. I didn't write it down, but Dave Johnson had a good week on Monday night. Or not Monday night. Was it Monday night? I don't fucking remember. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I'm stupid. Sunday night, maybe? I don't know. Who knows? I should know, you know. Assistant commissioner should know that shit. Kyle, big score for you is A-Rod, 26.4 when they kicked the shit out of the Lions. I mean, he's got Jordy, and they're back on the same page, so he's going to be a big threat for you. Blunder for Mick, Gronk, 0 points. Got a little excited that we all thought he was coming back this week, but obviously he didn't come back to his full potential. And he's got one week left with a backup, and then his big daddy's coming home, and he's going to get a lot of touches. Big blunder for Kyle was Macklin, 3.5 points. He didn't really have a choice. Mick still arguably the best team in the league. Like I said, Gronk has his big daddy coming back in a week, and I think you guys should probably get used to Mick putting up 120 each week, because I'm definitely getting used to it. Your team's scary, Mick. So congrats on the big win this week. Kyle, desperate need of wide receiver. Got a good amount of running back 2s and wide receiver 2s and 3s, mostly 3s. You're going to need some trades, but I don't think you're going to end up over. I think you will get a win. We'll talk about that later. So, Mick, you go to 2-1. Kyle, you drop to 0-3 and continue the dumpster fire for you. All right. Next up was Abdullah Oblongata versus Dumpster Fire, both coming in 1-1. Masada did end up winning this one, 115.4 to 58.8. Sorry, Mick, you did put up the most points this week, so you are our fantasy winner. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. Footy, on the other hand, was our fantasy loser and season fantasy loser so far with 58.8 points. Pretty fucking dumpster fire week for Footy. Big score for Nick was Devontae Freeman, 26.7 points. He's back, baby. He's back. He had a great Monday night. That's kind of scary that he's back because that's, your team. Footy, big score for you is Des Bryant, 10 points, but hairline fracture in the knee, that's going to be worrisome. Worrisome for Des Bryant. But you might need to make some trades there as well. Big blunder for Nick with Seattle D, 4 points. That's not really a blunder. Defenses are hit and miss sometimes, so as long as your players outscored your shitty defense, that's not bad. Footy, though, on the other hand, Carson Palmer, 3.5 points. Ouch. 4 interceptions. Ouch. Not a good showing for big Carson Palmer there. And he's your keeper. Ooh, maybe shouldn't have kept him. Ouch. Hopefully he bounces back because I have John Brown. Hopefully he bounces back. Nick, your keepers are finally living up to the hype. You have some decent players. Just need them to perform. They stay healthy. I see you getting back in the top 4 at least. So congrats on your big win this week. Footy, on the other hand, welcome back to the dumpster. All your players let you down. 10 points from one of your stud players is scary. That was your highest score was 10 points. That's pretty sad. You could be heading to the bottom, but I'm not going to count you out after 1 week, but that was a very scary week for you. So Masada goes to 2-1, and Footy drops to 1-2. Next up was Trash Pizza versus Moose Stuff. That's Graham versus Jordan. Jordan threatening to change his name if he lost a 3rd straight week. Guess what he did? He's not going to have to change his name. He blew Graham away, 129.7 to 62.7. Big score for Graham was Demaryius Thomas with 14 points, and big scorer for Jordan yet again was Marvin Jones, number 1 target for the Lions. I don't see him being that ridiculous week to week. They just were so far behind that they had to throw the whole fucking game, so he racked up some yards and some points. Blunder for Graham, Julius Thomas, 1.3 points, but you're used to that because Julius Thomas is hit and miss, more miss than hit. Jordan, Miami D, 3 points. Again, defense, not that big a deal if they drop some points for you. So Graham, your team is hurting. They're falling like flies, and your stud players are just not performing for you. This is gonna be a long season for you, I'm afraid. We talked about this on Sunday when you were over. Yeah, Graham came over. Way to come up, guys. I thought we were gonna fucking watch football together again, but no. I guess you guys are too cool to come up and hang out with us. Off my soapbox, back to the league. I don't think Graham has really anybody worth trading for, so he's gonna have a long season. He needs some injuries to pick up off the waiver wire. Got one with Vereen. Hopefully Darkwa keeps the number 1 position, but Rashad is still there. You got to remember that. Jordan, welcome back to a day where your players actually perform the way they should. All your players did well. You're working your way back up, and that's bullshit. I hate that. But Jordan, you will be at the top here shortly, I'm sure. You and Nick. All right. Next game, Harambe's Tribute Tour versus Team Brenco. That was Cole versus Austin. Record for Jordan was 1-2. Record for Graham 0-3. Cole did end up winning this one, 88.6 to 75.8. Big score for Cole was Matty Stafford, 26.5 points. Big score for Austin was Christian Michael, 23.1. Jordan's wet dream, Christian Michael. Blunder for Cole was Forsett, 3.2. But guess what? Who's coming back this week, Cole? Le'Veon. No more Forsett. Austin, Kelvin Benjamin, 0 points. Rough day for Carolina. Rough day for Carolina. 0 points. Cole welcoming back his number 1 running back this week. I'm going to look for you to put up over 100 points consistently. I don't think Matty Stafford's going to be that ridiculous just because they're so far fucking behind that he had to throw all down all goddamn day. He racked up that many points. But I still think you're gonna be up there. I don't think you're gonna be top 4. I see you squeaking in the playoffs though. Austin, just a bad week for your team. Not much more you can say. 2 players on your bench that haven't really performed all season, so there's no reason for you to start them, and they ended up going off. Typical fantasy football. Just an unlucky week for you. I see you getting in the playoffs at least this season, so you'll bounce back. You'll be all right. So Cole, you go to 2-1. Austin drops to 1-2. Finally, we had Gritty Gibb and the Swaggets. I'm pretty sure it was Swaggets. I can't read the whole name on my phone, and that's where I type all this shit up. Versus Vape Nation. I ended up beating Gibb 115 to 96.4 is when Cole puts that point on there for my defense. Thank you again for letting me know that. Appreciate the honesty. Would have been more of a blowout if it wasn't for T.Y. Hilton, but we'll get to that here in a second. T.Y. catch a ball late. Hilton was TJ's top scorer, 23.4 points. Mine was Doug Baldwin. I don't know. I picked him up off the waiver wire this year. I don't even know who he plays for, but he had 22 points. I hear he's shitty, but he put up 22 points. Wow. That's a lot of points for a shitty player. Wow. A little bitter right here. Super bitter, actually. Blunder for Gibb was Brandon Cooks. Let you down on Monday night. Your comeback kid let you down. 1.9. Jordan Reed was my letdown with 5.6 points, so I can't really hate myself if 5.6 is the lowest amount of points I got. I'll take it. I mean, I'll take that. So Gibb, looked like you were gonna have a hard week. You were probably gonna get beat pretty handily by me, but Ty caught that fucking bomb late. Go figure. Ty catching a bomb. Just a little confused on why you started Stephon Diggs versus Carolina D. You had Deshaun against New York. I don't know. In my opinion, I would have started Deshaun, and he put up a good amount of points. But hindsight's 2020. I can't really argue with you, but I still think Deshaun was a better start than Stephon Diggs. So that's rough. You probably would have beat me if you started Deshaun. I didn't do the math, but it would have been fucking close. For me, lost my 1 week flex Vereen. You guys acted like that was a huge deal. That was my first week of actually starting him, so I was kind of in the seat of I didn't really have a flex, so I guess it hurt a little bit, but not that much. Where was a non-factor. I'm kind of concerned about that, especially with Charles coming back. I was hoping to play them both. Yeah, strategy right there. But I didn't know my last pick in the draft would end up being my best player, Matt Ryan. Oh wait, yeah, I did. That's why I picked him, because Matty Ice is back, baby. Matty Ice and Tommy B. Let's go. And who would know that Doug Baldwin's the #1 wide receiver in Seattle, and that he's not bad, and he's Russell Wilson's favorite wide receiver. So I go to 3-0. Your only undefeated team left in the fucking league. What up? I'm pretty sure this is the 3rd year in a row I've started undefeated, 3-0. Yeah, suck my nuts. Gibby, you dropped to 2-1. You're with Mike. So let's do predictions quick, and we'll end this video. So next week, week 4, Graham versus CK. CK beats Graham. TJ versus Kamish. TJ gets a much needed win against Cole. Jordan versus Austin. I believe Jordan's going to beat Austin. Mick versus Masada. Steiner destroys Masada. Footy versus Mike. I think Footy bounces back and gets a win barely over Mike this week. And then Kyle versus Payne. I think Kyle gets his first win this week. So that's my predictions. That's my wrap up. That's everything you need to know about the league right now. I would love for you guys to come up on fucking Sundays and watch football with me, Graham and Mike. I guess that's a hard thing for you guys to do. It'd be sweet if you would. It'd be fun again. We could all talk shit instead of group meeting each other. But whatever. Do you. I'm done with this video. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. And hopefully Sunday if you guys come up. Alright. Bye-bye.